And this is from Gabriel, and this is written by him, and this is saying 5 reasons Russiagate could sink the Democratic Party. Interesting. Let's go ahead and see what this is all about. 5 reasons Russiagate could sink the Democratic Party. Treason! It's not a word someone comes across every day. It's a strong word. To an objective observer, Trump botched the hell out of that appearance alongside Russian President Vladimir Putin. Trump was as close to Jeb Bush's level of energy as I've ever seen him, and since the media won't ever let me escape the scumbag, I've seen enough to know the difference by now. These are Gabriel's words. But here's where my take differs from most others on the left, where they saw a treasonous capitulation. Took me a second. That's a hard thing to say. Did you say this out loud, Gabriel? Treasonous capitulation. That is... I'm not going to be able to say that 5 times fast. From an American president to the man they believe attacked our democracy, I saw an incompetently corrupt egomaniac have a realization in real time that he was in over his head alongside a competently corrupt egomaniac. That's actually pretty good. Now, I'll agree that Trump should absolutely have been harsh with Putin publicly, but not for the same reasons as the bulk of the liberal world. Trump should have outlined the various human rights abuses Putin oversees, both abroad and in Russia. He should have thrown out a zinger on the sham elections which kept Putin in power. How powerful would it have been for America to demand that Russia cease any more thinly veiled attempts at conquest around the world and taking steps to curb our own appetite for global interference? But I digress. Oligarchs gotta oligarch. Instead, the main source of the fury stems from Russiagate allegations. Yeah, that's all people have been talking about. You know, the people that talk about Trump and Putin, which both of them, I don't like either one of them. Both of them are deserving of tons of criticism. And that's an understatement. However, we're not talking about those human rights abuses. We're not talking about, election scandals in both countries. We're talking about this nonstop Russiagate. That's the only thing people care about. Putin was not on anybody's mind prior to all this in the United States, as far as the corporate media was concerned. Nobody was talking about that. To find a story about what was going on in the Ukraine or Crimea or when Code Pink was protesting Putin, you had to dig for any of that, and the corporate media didn't care at all about that. Now all of a sudden, everything's Trump Russia, everything's Putin. Why? Because it's a convenient scapegoat. That's what Russiagate is at this point. It's a convenient scapegoat. It's blatantly hypocritical. The whole Russiagate is founded on these basically allegations. First, that Russian operatives hacked DNC servers. Second, that Donald Trump colluded. Problem is, with damaging content, the damaging content consisted of emails between Democratic officials. Yeah, nobody talks about the content in the emails. Just the fact that allegedly Russia was behind it. Which again, allegedly. We don't know that. We don't know that. I'll grant you another hypothetical. Since most liberals like to throw out the whole let's not relitigate 2016 when you try to make them face these super obvious problems that were in all of our heads. So let's just say, this is getting back to Gabriel's article, let's just say the 2016 primary was completely fair and square. Let's just say that. It wasn't, but again, let's just say that. This is a hypothetical sake in Gabriel's article. They've still been cheating candidates in their own party, and they're still asserting their right to do so. Even if Trump did a little Mission Impossible routine over the DNC servers while FaceTiming with Vlad, we don't know that he didn't. He's a big tech guru, that Donald Trump. The Democrats cannot claim to be guardians of democracy in one breath, while casually enabling the assaults on Democratic Party leaders commit with near impunity. Yeah, that's, I tweeted something similar where I just said, look, if you're okay with superdelegates, gerrymandering, if you're okay with the Electoral College, if you're okay with voter suppression, you don't get to complain about another country, quote-unquote, hijacking our democracy, and nobody should care what you have to say about the topic. There are much bigger fish to fry. No kidding. Here's just a couple. Police brutality, stagnant wages, Climate change, a racist criminal justice system, a classist criminal justice system, regulating the forces that created the 2008 financial crisis, a humane immigration system, gun violence, fracking, paid leave for moms, single payer, tuition-free college, money in politics, preserving women's liberty. It's being used to silence the left, absolutely, just as the FARA Act happened. They claim, by the way, Gabriel brings up DAPL. They were claiming that Russia was behind the DAPL protests. Native Americans didn't know the pipeline was a bad thing until they were hypnotized by Russian propaganda. If that's not classist, elitist nonsense, I don't know what is. WMDs, yeah, Robert Mueller, the hero of the fake conservative in denial movement, was the same guy that lied us into Iraq, or something that helped lie us into Iraq. And number 5, something about eggs in baskets. I support the investigation for transparency's sake. These are Gabriel's words. I don't know if I could even go as far as to say I support the investigation at all anymore. I think that, I think that it is getting ridiculous at this point. I think that Trump is worthy of so much criticism. It's unbelievable, but this Russiagate red herring has gotten ridiculous. It is neo-McCarthyism, and I think that already the ends do not justify the means, whether they find something or not, which I don't know how much time you need. You got access to every phone call. You got access to every email. You got access. How much time do you freaking need? And I sound like a broken record at this point, but how much time do you need? And a lot of these indictments are just regular everyday corruption. They have nothing to do, and that's buried in the headline, by the way. In paragraph 6, they'll be like, oh, by the way, this indictment has nothing to do with potential collusion. It's just money laundering. Which, yeah, they're probably going to find money laundering. They're probably going to be able to pin something on Trump. And it's probably going to be oligarchs being shady oligarchs. Is that going to be enough to impeach him? I don't know. If it is enough to impeach him, is it going to be enough to bring Pence down and everyone else down too? I would think probably not. And if so, it ain't worth it. Because if impeaching Trump just gets you President Pence, we are worse off. We're way worse off. Because you just traded in an incompetent sociopath for a competent sociopath that's going to be able to get shit done. And Trump wariness won't help the Democrats at all going into the midterms, so the Republicans will maintain power, and they might re-elect that demagogue in 2020. That would be what would potentially happen if they impeach Trump but don't get the rest of the group as well. So thanks for sharing your article, Gabriel. I enjoyed it. And you bring up some really good points. Thanks for sharing, man. And you can check out Gabriel's article over on Medium. I just gave it a retweet there. Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.